welcome to Let's Get Growing, and we're back and it's spring. So this weekend it's the spring equinox and it's all happening. So we look around the garden, we've got daffodils are out, the blackthorn's flowering, we've got forsythia, the damson trees are in full flower, full blossom, and so yeah, it's very exciting. The apple trees are budding and there's lots going on. We've been redesigning the garden to try and adapt for sort of drier weather, so we've got all these new beds. So there's a lot happening in the garden. Come and visit us. So anyway, let's get cracking, let's get growing, let's get on with your packs. So in this month's packs, you've got some ornamental sweet pea plants here. So they're just for cut flowers, they're an annual. We've got poached eggplants. Again, they're for pollinating insects, particularly hoverflies. And we've got something for you to eat, which is flat leaf parsley, which is quite a good plant for this time of year because it's quite tough. So without further ado, we'll get on. This is the parsley plant. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it into a bigger pot and it's going to go outside. So I'm going to tip it. They've been in these all winter. Quite robust to flat leaf parsley, tougher than moss curled. So it's filled its pot and I'm going to tease out. That's called teasing out its root system. I've got some of our homemade compost and some leaf mould in here. And I'm going to put my plant in the middle, compost around it. This is peat-free potting compost. The bird is singing. Press this down and then I'm just going to snip off some of this top growth to get it to respond. There we go. And that's just going to need a water and I'll put that outside. A poached eggplant, I'm just going to put that into a bigger pot. So it's called poached eggplant. I think the Latin is Limnanthus douglasii. And it's called poached eggplant commonly because its flowers look like poached eggs. So we're going to do the same again. It's always what you do when you're potting on. That's really filled its pot, so I'm going to be quite rough with this. So you wouldn't do this if the plant was flowering, but it's not yet. So I've got some half filled my pot there. My plant in, compost around it. And then press it down. And then finally, your sweet pea, which is the ornamental sweet pea. And this is old-fashioned mix, so it's highly perfumed. And these were grown from some seeds that we saved from our own plants from last year. I think the ones that we bought didn't actually germinate. So our seeds did better than the bought ones. So I've half filled my pot. I'm not going to disturb the sweet peas. They don't like it. So just try and transplant them. Don't tease them out. Just gently put the pot in. Compost around it. And you could put these straight into the ground. Plus they can go outside. And we've got lots here that are we've done into big pots that we're going to put around the garden and at the entrance to make the place look nice. And then I'm going to really firm it. And then I've got some, you can use bamboo. I've just got some old dried willow here that I was going to use. Cut it down a bit because it's a bit long. Put my sticks in. Try not to make holes in the polytunnel. So I've got 5 old willow. We have lots of this willow knocking about. So if you ask when you come in to get your packs, if you haven't got any canes, you can have some. Right, string. So I put 5 canes in. I'm going to tie them at the top here. Now, with some of these, there's a lot of string going on at the top, which is good for once they grow, but the important thing at the moment is to get string lower down, because you want these to be up off the ground. So you can always, so I'm going to put string around here to try and encourage them to grow up. I can always put another something like that. Doesn't matter as long as they're not traipsing. You can always add string on later. So I'm just going to do this for now. Just tie that off. And then the last thing, well, I do need to water it. The other thing that's really good to do now is to do what's called pinching out the tips. So here's its growing tip here. So I'm going to pinch that. And when you do pinch out a growing tip, it encourages the plant to bush out laterally rather than just growing a single tall leggy stem. So there's one there. So that's 1, 2. There's another one here. And these are actually the same plants. They were sown at the same time as these in pots. But these ones have actually been potted on sooner and they've been pinched out. And you can see how much growth is going on here as a result of pinching it out. So you have more stems, you've got more flowers. But they should be fine. Okay, so that's your packs for this week. Now I've got one last thing to show you before we finish. Okay, so this is our wildlife pond, and this area here last week was absolutely full. I'd say there was hundreds of frogs in here, and we've got lots and lots of frog spawn here, which will be developing in the next week into tadpoles. So I just thought I'd show you that, because today is actually Friday. It is actually World Frog Day. So there you go. So thanks very much for watching, and yeah, happy growing.